Okay, today we are gonna see how we apply clustering to a given data set. So in this, I'm using k-means algorithm for the clustering. So first we have to import all the packages that are required for the k-means algorithm and plotting and everything. After that, I'm reading the CSV file into the data set variable. After that, in the data set variable, I'm ascending the null values into a data frame. After that, I'm counting each and every null value, and I will display it as the feature and the null count in that feature. After that, I'm going to include in like I'm going to replace the null values with the values, like when any non-null values. After that, so this is the x data set. Like in the x variable, I'm going to store the features like 1 and -1, and like these are the features number. Like in this, we are going to do the feature scaling, so I'm going to represent the features as numbers so that I won't get any non-integer value, and also the model doesn't calculate the features as any other values. And this is the y variable in which I'm going to save my testing model. So after that, I'm going to do the so this is how I apply the k-means algorithm. So now I'm going to show you how I do the elbow method to find out the k values. So in the range 1 to 10, I'm going to find out the k value by using like this syntax. So after that, I'm going to like first suppose consider the n clusters as I. So in it, like the max iteration is 300, and in it up to in the like I in the range of 1 to 10, I'm going to fit this in x into k-means algorithm. After that, I'm going to print it like you can see the graph over here. This is the elbow method, so it will be in the shape of the elbow. So at the second curve, you take this as the k value, k algorithm value, like as the clusters value. So after getting the clusters value, we are going to do the k-means algorithm for 3 clusters. So I have taken the number of clusters as 3. After that, I'm fitting the x into the k-means algorithm. After that, in this y cluster k-means a variable, I'm going to predict the x value, like the test value stored in x, by using the k-means algorithm. After that, from a sklearn package, I'm importing metrics, which is used to like calculate the score, like the score which is used to tell the value. Like based on the sellout score value, we can tell whether the clusters 2 are clearly separated, or the cluster 2 are merged, like the data belonging to cluster 1 is placed in the cluster 2, or the data belongs to cluster 1 is placed in the cluster 1 or not. So it depends on these codes, we can tell how the clusters are divided in. And after that, I'm going to like see the like I'm going to do the feature scaling and see if this silhouette score improves or not. So for feature scaling, I do like I do transform the x value, and I will store it in the x scalar, and I'm going to fit this x scalar value into the k-means algorithm, and I'm going to perform k-means algorithm over the transformed data, and this gives me another silhouette score. After doing this, so I will be doing the PCA. So this helps me to minimize the variance in the lower dimensional, like when the clusters are plotted, like when the clusters are grouped into a position that I cannot separate them in the two-dimensional part, we use the three-dimensional parts, and this PCA helps me to separate the data in the three-dimensional part by reducing the variance between two clusters in the two-dimensional parts, like the minimized dimensional parts. And after that, I will try to apply K-means algorithm again to the PCA performed dataset. I will then check if the sellout score is reduced or like the sellout score is improved or decreased. So by performing various methods like K-means algorithm and after PCA and after scaling, after these, I found I displayed various scores in here. I will show it to you. So I have run this program already. You can see it here. This is the normal score, the 0.46. After scaling, the score has gone to 0.26, and after doing PC and after NK means it has went up to 0.5. And here, if the score goes near the +1, that means that both the clusters, like the clusters are divided perfectly. If the score is 0, then the margin between the cluster 1 and cluster 2, you can understand the margin between the cluster 1 and cluster 2 is very small, that almost the instances instances belongs to cluster 1 and cluster 2 are almost overlapping. If the score is -1, like in minus values, then you can understand that the cluster 2 instances are placed in the cluster 1 and vice versa. So here the score is decreasing, and here PCA plus K means score is increased. So that means we can use this method to divide the clusters, but the remaining methods are not so recommended according to the score I have observed. After that, I'm going to plot the clusters. So here you can see first I have this is like for the this is the number 1 cluster and this is the number 2 cluster. This is how the clustering is plotted. So this is the k-means algorithm which is used to divide the data into different clusters. Thank you.